perspective. Nature of disease. Disease is both a reaction and adjustment. A pathophysiological disturbance is normally a response to biological, physical, or chemical insult or injury, injury to the body. Those most disease manifestations, including their symptoms and signs, are a reaction to the injury and an attempt to readjust. Disease as a bounty. In an Islamic context, disease does not always cannot a negative or bad event. There are indeed many situations where when what is a disease situation is actually beneficial, falling ill maybe Allah's way to forcing the person to take a desired rest or to care for the body before it can deteriorate further. Death from some diseases was said by the Prophet to be martyrdom. The pain due to disease is a reminder of the punishment and suffering that the evildoers will suffer from in hell. Disease can be an opportunity for personal redemption by expiation or atonement or for previous sins. Disease may enable a person return to the joy equilibrium in life. Falling sick may at times be Allah's blessing in this disguise that a person incapacitated and those is prevented from pursuits that could prove more dangerous for him. While a person is sick and is not busy with the routines of life, he may have time to reflect and remember Allah. Disease is a trial, that trials that one goes through, and the eventual patience can be rewarded by Allah's forgiveness. Patience with chronic disease disability is associated with high reward. The Prophet, peace be upon him, talked about rewards for epileptics, and the blind patients in the face of severe illness is a reason for entering paradise, Jannah. Disease as punishment. Some diseases are due to disobedience, acts of disobedience may be followed by epidemic disease or by disease in an individual. The disease may be directly related to the sin, such as liver cirrhosis due to chronic alcohol consumption, or there may be no direct relationship. The Prophet taught that when communities commit iniquities, Allah sends them diseases unknown in their ancestors. Many of the diseases of industrialized societies are related to lifestyle and maybe Allah's punishment for various transgressions. Causality in disease. According to the Islamic perspective, every phenomenon in life has an immediate cause that humans can search for and find. However, behind all these causes is the power and majesty of Allah, who alone is the source of all causes. When all the factors that produce a certain pathological conditions exist, we say that there is a sufficient cause of disease. However, humans can never know for sure that there is a sufficient cause because Allah's divine will is involved. There are many causes when all the humanly known factors of a disease exist, but the disease does not cure. This is because of the unknown factor attributable to Allah alone. There are empirical factors that must operate for a certain pathological um, condition to cure. These are referred to as necessary causes. For example, the tubercle uh, bacillus is a necessary cause for the disease of tuberculosis. Humans must know the necessary causes of disease, denying their existence in denying the cardinal principle, and is akin to superstitious belief. A multifactorial causality of disease. Human diseases, like the human organism, are complicated, and usually several factors are involved in their causation. Humans may know some of the factors and ignore others. It is not necessary to know all the factors in order to treat a disease, since the factors usually act in sequence. Knowledge of only one may be sufficient to interrupt the causal pathway. Predetermination, qadar in disease. The causation, progression and resolution of disease are in the hands of Allah and are part of qadar. It is Allah's predetermination that a person falls sick. Humans try to understand disease processes in order to reverse them. This is not contradicting or opposing Allah's will. All what a physician does is with Allah's permission and is therefore part of the predetermination. Treatment and prevention of disease are not against qadar but are subsumed under the principle that qadar can reverse another qadar. In the end, all cure is from Allah and not the human. Determinants of disease. Environmental cause of disease: heat, cold, radiation, water, smoke, and high altitude can lead to pathophysiological disturbances and disease. Extreme heat can cause heat stroke and dehydration. Water kills drowning people. Contagion from the microbiological environment is part of Allah's plan, especially in fulfilling the food chain. It is part of the balance of the ecosystem. This does not, however, mean that such diseases should be left alone. There has been some confusion about hadiths of the Prophet dealing with infection and contagiousness of disease. The Prophet was speaking about different diseases on different occasions. Some were contagious while others were not. Even with one disease like leprosy, there are contagious and non-contagious forms. Other determinants of disease are malnutrition, genetic anomalies, immunological anomalies, neoplasmatic and degenerative change. Islamically speaking, we cannot say that there was a genetic or chromosomal mistake. It is all part of Allah's grand design from which we continuously learn and discover. The Quran teaches that degeneration occurs with aging. Concepts of treatment and cure of disease. Every disease has a treatment. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said in an authentic hadith that Allah did not reveal any disease without also revealing its cure. Humans encouraged without also revealing its cure. Humans are encouraged to seek treatments. The Quran described the cure. The Quran is itself a cure. Honey is described in the Quran as a cure. Some people may know the cure and others may ignore it, but it nevertheless exists. The Quran described disease in the Prophet Ayub and its eventual cure. The Quran described How Isa cured chronic diseases human try, but it is Allah who cures. Humans should not be arrogant by attributing a cure to themselves and not to Allah. In the same way, humans cannot refuse